to turn on the video if you are there. As a teacher, if I've said one time, like if you have any issue, just like Chakrika told me, sir, I'm out. So I won't be able to turn on. But if anybody is having at home, basically sitting right now in front of the laptop at home, and if I have said that, please turn on the video. So your duty should be that you have to turn on the video. And I said to you, all of you in the last class as well, whenever you are sitting for the class, be seated with proper resources, pencil, notebook, water bottle, everything. It's a 1 hour class. And if we do not utilize the time properly, how would we be able to basically complete the syllabus on time? And if I have to say again and again, so please turn on the video and so on for multiple 2 to 3 times. See, 8 minutes are gone from 1 hour class. So it's better whenever you're sitting in for the classes, please be seated properly so that once you join the class, your video should be on. Okay. So last class, what we have done, please tell me. कहाँ तक लिखा था? प्रिंसिपल ऑफ बेसिकली हमने शायद से आर्किमिडीज प्रिंसिपल किया था, राइट? सो आर्किमिडीज प्रिंसिपल लास्ट लाइन बताओ कहाँ तक लिखी थी आप लोगों ने, मुझे गौरी एंड तनिषा. अफसा, अभी कोई रिसेंट में कोई टेस्ट वगैरह है आपका?
So we're probably gonna have some at either the end of October or beginning of November. They didn't tell us the
Okay.
dates though.
And this gravitation chapter, right?
Yeah, gravitation and maybe energy as well. I don't know. They never gave us the portions.
Okay, no issues. Once you get the portion, please share it with me.
Okay.
Gauri and Tanisha, what was the last line you have written, Micho? Tell me, please.
Sir, that example means like that our ship made up of iron and steel floats.
अच्छा, यानी कि हमने कोई theoretical portion कर लिया था, right? Okay, so let me explain you. Okay. Yeah. Basically, we have completed the theoretical portion. So let me explain you. After that, we'll do the numericals. So basically, Archimedes principle is a very, very important principle that we see in our day-to-day life, right? So you must have seen that basically a ship is basically going over the water, right? A boat is basically rowing over the water as well, right? Yacht. So whatever is basically floating on the water, there is some basically principle. There is a principle behind it, right? So if you have to understand the basically what is the actual reason behind the flotation of anything on the water, we need to basically understand what is Archimedes principle. So Archimedes was basically a kind of scientist, basically a theorist, right? And he gave the Archimedes principle, which shows that if the body is wholly or partially immersed in the water, there is some water displaced when you sink that object into the water. What happens basically, suppose that you have a bucket, right? Achha, let's keep this thing, keep it aside. You must have heard about a crow and the pebble story. All of it, that is a very common story. Like, doesn't matter where do you study, America, anywhere, this story is very common, just to basically right for the entertainment purpose. So you must have seen that the water was not completely, like the water basically the kind of pot, right? The matka was not full, right? So what happens basically after that, the crow basically puts some pebbles into the pot, right? And then the water basically starts rising. So why? Because when you are basically dropping that pebble, some water is being displaced. So ultimately, when the pebble is set in the at the bottom of the pot matka, so the water is rising. That's similar example of the Archimedes principle. So whenever a body is immersed in the water, what happens basically, such amount of weight is displaced by that object of the water. So when you have a bucket full of water, if you put something, what would happen? The water will spill out from the bucket. The reason is the body will basically displaces some water so that it can maintain the size space for itself, because if there is some body, it would occupy some space. Yes or no, everyone? according to basically matter a kind of a definition, if a body is there, it would have area, volume, density, and it will also occupy some space. So that's why whenever a body is sink into the water, it will displaces the same amount of weight of water equivalent to the weight of the body itself. If the ball is of 100 gram, how much weight it will displace from the bucket if you drop that ball into the bucket? 100 gram. Okay, so that's what buoyant force would be equals to the weight of the liquid displaced by that object. And this principle basically helps us to understand the floating of basically ship, boat, or anything which is basically floating in the water. So even also, I think we have, as I've told you, that in the gases we also have basically the buoyant force, but gases are very, very small, so that's why we ignore it. Right. Now, if we talk about the Archimedes principle applications, right? So lactometer is one of the example that we use to determine the purity of milk, because the pure milk is very heavy and denser as compared to the adulterated milk with water, right? So that's why density gets changed, and that's why we easily detect with the help of lactometers. Next is Archimedes principle is used in designing ships and submarines. Right, so I have told you that why the objects float or sink in the liquid. This depends on two things. First one is basically the kind of weight acting in the downward. Second is basically buoyant force. Third one is also there, which is density. Right. So let's talk about one by one. So principle of flotation: an object will float if the weight of the object is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by it. So whenever you put an object into the basically water, what would happen if that object displaces the same amount of water? So it will float. And if it displaces, and if basically the weight of the water displaced by a submerged part of the boat is equal to the weight of the boat, obviously. So why the boat is floating on the water? Because whatever the part is submerged in the water of the boat, that is equal to the weight of the water. Okay. Clear? Alef, Chakrika, Tanisha, Gauri, Hafsa.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Great. Next thing is basically an object will float in a liquid if the density is less than that of a liquid. As I told you, that the density of liquid, if it is more, so the object will float, right? And if the density of liquid is equal to the object will float again. But if the density of the object is more as compared to water, so it will sink, right? Great. Next is basically a ship made up of iron and steel floats in the water, because you must have seen that the ship is basically made up of kind of, you can say the structure is completely hollow, right? So when you have a ship, only the boundaries are there, but inside the ship it's completely hollow. Multiple things are there, cruises are there, peoples are there, transportations are there, containers are there. So it's completely hollow. That's why when the ship is basically going in the water, so that it does not get sink, the reason is the average density as compared to the water is less. Okay, so we design the ship according to the density of the water. Okay, everyone. Clear, बच्चों?
Okay. Yeah.
चक्रिका, तनीषा, आलिफ. ओके, चलो
Yes,
फिर
sir.
क्वेश्चंस करते हैं.
Yes,
क्या
sir.
हुआ? कुछ डाउट है तनीषा? आपने कहा नो सर.
No, sir, I said yes.
अच्छा, ठीक. ओके. One second. चलो कुछ न्यूमेरिकल्स करते हैं, ठीक है। सो फर्स्ट डू द क्वेश्चन नंबर 18, ठीक है, एंड क्वेश्चन नंबर 26, 18 and 26 in the chat. Fast. ओके गौरी, ओके तनीषा, इन्हें नहीं सिर्फ 2 क्वेश्चन करने, बाकी सब क्या कर रहे हैं? चक्रिका इज नॉट देयर, ठीक है। हफ्सा एंड आलिफ, व्हाई हैव यू नॉट गिवन द आंसर सो फार?
Sir, it's not letting me do anything besides turn my mic on.
नहीं हफ्सा, ये समझ नहीं आ रहा, मतलब आप क्यों ऐसा हो रहा है? देखो मैं दोबारा मैं मैसेज करता हूँ आपको, बताओ मिला कि आपको मेरा मैसेज?
Okay. No, it's been happening for like I think the past week. Like it
आपने लॉग
doesn't
इन
let
किया
me.
हुआ? इट्स, हैव यू लॉग्ड इन?
Yeah, yeah, I'm
अभी
logged
देखो
in.
मैसेज आया मेरे पास, आपके पास?
No.
आई डोंट नो, पता नहीं क्या इशू है फिर ये, बिकॉज बाकी जैसे कि गौरी एंड तनीषा कर पा रहे हैं, ठीक है। 1 सेकेंड रुको।
Like when I join the meeting, it doesn't show me anything besides a cube at the bottom to turn my mic
अब
on.
देखो, अब करो, अब मिल आ गया
No,
होगा।
there's
अब
nothing. Do you want me to send a screenshot to show you what it
नहीं
looks
नहीं
like
नहीं
for
नहीं
me?
नहीं 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 हाँ चलो स्क्रीनशॉट सेंड, कैसे सेंड करोगे अल्टीमेटली?
I'll send it to the team.
हाँ हाँ ऐसे करो, मैं देखता हूँ क्या प्रॉब्लम है, फिर मैं आपको उसमें हेल्प कर दूंगा। आप सेंड करो, बिकॉज उसमें क्या, कोई बात नहीं, आई डोंट नो कि क्या इशू है इसका, ऐसा होना तो नहीं चाहिए। बाकी आपके में नहीं होता, आपके में नहीं प्रॉब्लम हो रही गौरी है तनीषा? आपके उसमें हफ्सा, आप जब चैट पे क्लिक कर रहे हो, सो जब चैट का बॉक्स ओपन हो रहा है तो वहां पे एक प्लस साइन आ रहा है?
Sir, I don't have any chat box thingy. The only thing I have is the mic.
अच्छा
Nothing
मुझे
else.
सेंड करो, मोबाइल से ज्वाइन किया है आपने?
No, I joined from my tab.
प्लीज सेंड मी। आई
Okay.
डोंट नो, या तो फिर आपका कुछ मतलब जूम तो जब से बेसिक स्टार्ट हुआ था उसमें तब भी चैट का ऑप्शन था, आई डोंट नो कौन सा वर्जन आपके में इंस्टॉल्ड है।
No, it used to work
चलो
perfectly fine before. It just started from the past week.
कोई नहीं, आप मुझे स्क्रीनशॉट सेंड करो, ठीक है। ये वाले भी DEF वाले पार्ट करो। Alif, why have you not given the answer so far, बच्चे? It was very easy question and you have not given the answer yet.
Yes, sir.
Why? Do it fast, all of you. DEF. अफसा आप प्लीज मुझे शेयर करो टीम्स पर, ओके? व्हाट्सएप पे उनको,
Yeah, I
टीम को,
sent
मैं
you.
देखता हूँ क्या इशू है।
Sir, did you receive it?
Not yet. Let me just ask.
Okay.
मैंने मैसेज कर दिया बाय द वे। As soon as I get, I'll look into it. आप इतने सॉल्व करो जो वो दिए मैंने आपको।
Okay.
अब से आप क्या करना बच्चे, उसको जो है ना एक दफा क्या बोलते हैं, अनइंस्टॉल करना जूम को, फिर दोबारा से इंस्टॉल करना, और प्रॉपर लॉगिन वगैरह जैसे करते हो गूगल अकाउंट से करना लॉगिन, ठीक है?
Yeah, no, my account's always been logged in. I don't know, one random day it just started doing this.
आई
And
डोंट नो,
that's all
यहाँ
I
पे
can
मतलब कोई मोर का ऑप्शन भी नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं है। सो नो इश्यूज, आप
nothing.
एक
It's
दफा
just the mic.
अनइंस्टॉल करना उसको, रीइंस्टॉल करना दोबारा से। मे बी हो सकता है कभी कभार कुछ ग्लिच हो जाता है, मे बी कुछ कंपैटिबिलिटी इशू हो जाता है वर्जन में। सो ट्राई दिस थिंग एंड फिर देखना होता है सॉल्व या नहीं।
Okay.
ओके ओके एलेक्स। तनीषा आंसर बचे, डी ई
So
एफ जी पार्ट का, या गौरी इज वेल। ठीक है, ठीक है, good. ओके, क्वेश्चन नंबर 49 करो, 50 करो एंड 51 करो। 49, 50 and 51. 49, 50, 51.
Okay.
Okay, answer from Olive. All of you do it fast. Okay, Tanisha. All of you done?
Yes.
51st भी कर लिया आप लोगों ने? Let me check. तनीषा ने 51st ठीक है. गौरी ओके, गौरी करेक्ट है बच्चे. तनीषा करेक्ट है आपका. आलिफ व्हाट अबाउट 51st? ठीक है बच्चे, बढ़िया. ग्रेट ग्रेट. हफ्सा आंसर. अच्छा, आपके तो नेटवर्क ठीक है. बाकी कैलकुलेट तो किया है ना हफ्सा आपने?
Yeah.
ठीक है. ठीक है. ओके, 58th करो बच्चों प्लीज. Okay, Gauri. Good. Okay, sure. So for this class, that's all because I have one more class to go. Okay. So let's end this class here. Okay, Tanisha. Great. Correct, Bajit. Okay, so with this, let's end this class, everyone. And let's meet in the next class. Okay. And happy Diwali to Gauri and Chakrika Bacho. And enjoy your day. Right. And मिठाई बचा कर रखना. ठीक है चलो.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
take
Same
care.
to you.
Okay, bye
Bye,
bye.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Welcome. Bye.
Hey Ibrahim, how are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Yeah, good to know.
Sir, by the way, I don't know why, but my teacher, she didn't teach us valency.
They didn't taught you about valency.
No, they
Uh,
didn't teach us.
oh,
The teacher, we were just lucky that the teacher told us about valency. Otherwise, she thought that it was not in our. Otherwise, she told that it was not in our syllabus.
oh, they told you that it is not in the syllabus, right?
Yes, it's not in the syllabus.
Oh, okay. So like if it is not in the syllabus, so you can skip it as of now, and later on in the higher classes we'll be learning about it. Okay.
Oh, no, sir. Like I
By the
want
way,
to learn.
you want to
Like
learn about it?
yeah, I want to learn about it because, like, my father, he helped me learn about some concepts, but I
Okay,
want to
okay.
like learn more, so it's going to be easy for eighth grade.
All
That's
right.
why.
Okay, okay. If you wish, we'll be discussing that. Okay. 1 second. I
Because
will
I
just.
feel trouble with matter and chemical formula. That's why.
Yeah, you had that chapter. No? You told me you have the chapter matter and
Yeah,
chemical
I have
formula.
that chapter.
1 second. So, in order to continue, I will just need one or two diagrams in my slide. Okay. So that our discussion would be convenient for that. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. First, I'll be needing that periodic table here. Like we have discussed that Halima too had this topic. Okay. In fact, I have taught her about everything related to calculation. In fact, calculation of valency.
Yeah, calculation.
Yeah.
We also,
Mhm,
my father also taught me about balancing equation. You
mhm,
taught us in the class that as well. Like,
mhm.
not that way, but you taught us how to count the numbers, and that's
Yeah.
the basic thing in balancing.
Yeah, first you need to count it, and then that will be basically helping you to, what do I
If
say,
we count it,
balance
if
it.
we count it, and it's and that same element is the same amount in the other side, then they're chemically balanced. They'll give
Mm,
questions like yes or no.
mhm,
Otherwise, in higher grades, they'll give us to like
mhm.
simplify it, and that will be harder.
Yeah, it's like that. Also, we had, I even taught her about how she can derive the formulas of the different compounds. Okay, just give me
What does derive
one more.
mean? Like
Derive
derive
means
in the sense.
derive in the sense like how to